can't do it. Oh, yeah, I am unmuted now. Right. Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Kabbalat Shabbat. This week, it's another early one. Next week is the earliest, but here we go today. I'm going to tell you a story today, and this is a story about King Saul, but it's not the King Saul that you think it is about.
Oh, two different rooms. I'm leaving one, two different rooms. Oh, no, it's on the same phone, right?
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay, sorry. Okay, my story.
Stop the video.
Are you muted? Yeah. Hi. Okay, I'm going to carry on now. I'm going to tell you about a man called Saul Katzenellen Bogen, who was born in Padua in 1540, and he became the king of Poland for a day, or maybe a day more. And this story is quite well known, and it's changed a number of times, so there's a lot of legend in it, but there is also some truth. In 5 minutes, I can't tell you too much, so I'm just going to tell you bits and bobs and tell you about it. He was born in Padua, and his father was the rabbi of the town, and his grandfather was the chief rabbi of the area, or the other way around, whatever it was. When he grew up, he was sent by his grandfather to the yeshiva in Brisk, which was meant to be the best yeshiva in Poland and Lithuania together. So he was there, and of course, communication wasn't what it was, so they didn't hear a lot of him. Now, at the same time, traveling around Europe was a Polish nobleman called Prince Radziwill, and he was traveling, and he ran out of money, as young people often do. And he knew that the rabbi of the town would help, because he knew Jews at home who were very helpful. And he went to see him, and the rabbi helped him and gave him at least enough money to get back to Poland. And he asked him, how could he repay him? And he said, I don't really want any money back, but I have a son at yeshiva there. Please go and find him. We haven't heard from him a long time, and you can repay him the loan. So that's exactly what happened. He went to find him, and he befriended him. They became good friends. And at the end of his yeshiva course, he went to live in the castle owned by this Prince Radziwill. He worked for him. He was his manager, and he worked in the salt mines that belonged to the king, and they were near Krakow. And he became well known because he was very honest. He became quite wealthy. He influenced a lot of people. And so it was. He knew the king also and advised him. And then it happened that the king died. His name was Stefan Báthory, and he died in 1586. And it was a rule in Poland that you couldn't leave the throne empty for very long, and this king had no heir. And so the ministers met to choose a new king, and they were arguing, whatever. And they had a strict time to keep to, and they didn't keep to their time. So they had to appoint a king. And so this Prince Radziwill, he said, I know the perfect person. He's very honest. He does good deeds. And he wouldn't keep the throne. As soon as we've appointed someone, he would leave. And that's what happened. They all appointed him king. He had a coronation that very day. People brought him gifts. And while he was king for that first day, he made a lot of decrees which helped the Polish Jews at the time. I have to say, at that time, it was much better for the Jews than it was in the 18th century. And many did quite well. But however, he made it even better for them and the Polish people. Now, and he's remained friends with the king and the king's nobleman, this Prince Radziwill. And there are many versions of this story, and whether he was king for a day or king for 2 weeks till this other king came on the throne, he actually helped to choose this other king because the advisors came to him as king and said, it's going to be one of these two, and he chose the next king. And he stayed friends with that king too. So he lived out his life there, and he did quite well. And it became a famous story. Now, we don't know how much of it is true, how much isn't, but the people are real. And in fact, in the Jerusalem library, there is a Sefer Torah which is dedicated to him, as his name was, as I said, Shul Katzenellen Bogen. But after he became king, he became Wohl, Wohl, which is German for chosen. And that was the name. And this Sefer Torah is dedicated to him. It is all of 10 centimeters high. It has its own little silver ark, and it has ivory staves. It's quite interesting. If you go there, it's an amazing place. And there's been a book written by Dr. Neil Rosenstein with all the legends about this story. And he brings them all together and analyzes them. And it's really quite interesting. If I can just finish off by saying that he did a lot of good deeds, because he lived till he was 77, and he had the wealth to start up many yeshivot in Poland. And he left a will to asking his children that they would follow him in doing good deeds in their lives and being humble. And a famous rabbi has said that one's lineage is like a bunch of zeros. And until you put a one in front of it, you're nothing but a bunch of zeros. And that's rather lovely. And the Talmud says that all of us are sons of royalty. And so we all have genes, and we all have a bunch of zero in our genes too. So by carrying on our heritage, we can add value to our ancestry by placing our own personal one or number that we want to in front of all those zeros. So all I can say is, may we all continue our good deeds. Okay, Shabbat Shalom.